Okay, if I hit this button, that means that people can see us. And
live.
Both fingers, both nostrils, right at the start. And if anybody can solve whatever's going on with my camera where I start doing something and it's all like choppy and stuff, like I just want to throw this thing out.
That is weird.
Right? Like it was fine and then it like, you know, I think I need a second computer. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nice computer though.
I know. I don't understand what's going on with this thing. It's like, how is this the thing that pushes to the edge?
Ryan says you're 24 frames per second with your camera.
Like 24 FPS.
I know, it's so strange. And then yeah. You know, so it just, you have something working and then USB issue. That actually makes sense. Yeah.
I think so?
Yeah, because I actually have it going through a hub, which is by necessity. So I can switch it back and forth between my work computer and this one. That makes sense though. But so if it's, I don't know, bottlenecking of some sort, that's my cap of technical knowledge. I'm going to go like pass out now.
I've got mine running through an extender and then into my computer. And I don't think it's having any issues.
Hub needs power.
It was meant for a webcam.
Well, I'm quite aware of it. I'll say that much. Sorry about that, guys. Andrew Watson. Oh my gosh. Good to see you. And Seth Sturgill's here. And Locklett's here. Look at that.
Whoa, I'm here.
Oh.
I am here. We got Kevin here. Lee Navarro's here. Ryan's here.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Guys, people don't even know. They don't even know what they're in store for. You need a cam link. That would require not a USB camera. Like, I want it small. I want my webcam small. And my webcam has been fine until like 4 months ago for some reason. It's like I updated to iOS and now my computer's broken. Don't know why that works
fancy
that way.
monitor though.
Maybe. Yeah. A cam link though. I don't want it. I just want everything USB. I just want everything simple, but maybe that's just asking for too much, you guys. Gotta get my Switch Lite here. I fired it up this morning.
GameCube is better than N64 talk. Oh snap!
Yes.
Oh snap! We got Al.
Oh, is it his birthday month now?
Yes, October. Mm-hmm. It is. I've been waiting for this for a long time, you guys.
Never changing that profile picture.
Yep.
The only thing I could get you off dubious food, right?
It really is. Like, there's been a lot of I've bought a lot of these different thingies, but that's the one. That's the one that's gonna stay for at least a little while.
Oh my gosh!
Been waiting all this time for it. Yeah.
There's already like GameCube and N64 chatter going on here.
We're just gonna skip out all the rest of the console wars.
Pick.
Oh, 64. GameCube's overrated.
Can we bring it like just back like that's the real console war? It's not PS5. It's not
That's
Xbox.
what I'm saying.
The nostalgia wars.
GameCube. Yes.
Ryan, let me know how audio and everything sounds. Hopefully it functions. We're live at the right place, the right time. We did the thing. It's an evening show. This show used to be a morning show. This is weird, you guys. Be ready for weirdness.
That's
I have to tape a blanket up on my window since we're doing it at nighttime.
Yeah.
If only people knew what goes on. I still have to hang up. Like, I got all these like soundproofing things over here. Like, I gotta hang these on the wall. These have been here forever. Nobody's talked to me about these, but
If you're not going to use them, like throw them my way.
yeah, no, they're definitely there's use for them. There's lots of wall over here.
I've noticed them, but I've just like I've left it alone. Yeah. I'm just like, I
think he's aware.
I love you. I respect you. I want you to live your best life.
Oh, I want my webcam to work.
Evan says he's pointed them out to you multiple times.
Oh yeah, that's the reason that nothing's been done with them. It's because somebody hasn't pointed them out to me. Thanks, Kevin.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, people are. This is going to be very different, though, and I'm curious how, like the nighttime vibes might be a little bit different. The flavor of the show is going to be totally different. It's going to be a different show, y'all. Get ready.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready? People
ready.
aren't even ready for the intro video. There's an outro video. There's like a little silly thing I put together. I didn't really put it together, just ripped it from YouTube. So we'll see. You guys know. We're in for a ride, though.
Oh my gosh. I'm excited.
All right.
Okay. Are we ready?
Maybe.
Maybe. Can we trim all this like after the stream? Can we like make the video just like start when Locklet does the thing? I don't think we ever do that, actually.
We could do that.
Friday, yes. Oh my gosh. My desert island game that I haven't played more than 2 hours, but that's the one I'll play forever. All right, y'all.
Ready?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Boy. Nervous. Hang on. Hey y'all, welcome to the first episode of the new Nintendo Drive and the 75th episode overall for Carpool Gaming. We are zooming into your screens, ears, and hearts this week, but before we do that, consider following us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Carpool Gaming. If you like what you see on this YouTube channel and want to see more, give us a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you don't miss out on our future content. And if you love seeing us and want to support us, be that driving force and support us over on Patreon at patreon.com/carpoolgaming. And speaking of Patreon, we would like to give a special thanks to our newest supporter, Eric Hodges. Woo!
Yay!
All the links to our socials and where to follow us will be in the description box below. Now roll that sweet intro.
You guys, we have made it. The new era of the Nintendo Drive is here, and I'm just glad that I don't have to scream to start a podcast that I get to be on. Locklet, that was amazing.
Man.
I'm so excited.
Thank you.
Very cozy.
Yes. Settle
Very
in.
cozy. Oh
Custom
my gosh, it's
song
gonna
by
be so
Seth.
different. Yeah, I wrote that, y'all. That's my song. It's a simple little thing, but that's thank you. I'm glad everybody likes it.
Maybe some unofficial lyrics there. There is no lyrics. It's just a melody, but
it kind of has lyrics.
You know,
it's
secret
funny.
lyrics.
Secret lyrics, I guess. When I sat down to write that, it was initially like way more complicated. I was like doing this like finger picking acoustic thing, and I was like, I need to be able to like play this, like, because eventually somebody's gonna want me to play this, so it needs to be simple.
Sometimes there's gonna be a campfire, and you're gonna find yourself with a guitar. Then you're gonna have to play it, man.
Somebody's gonna want me to play it.
Marshmallows, chocolate, some s'mores.
So it had to be simple.
That has to be like a tradition. Like this is evening. It reminds me of a time I was doing I don't remember what show it was, but Bobby and I were doing a show, and it was like early in the morning, and he was telling me he was just having a hot chocolate. I'm like, what are you having a hot chocolate? It's like 9 in the morning. That. It was amazing. Probably not like the greatest way to start a day, but like, you know, it's 8 o'clock Central. It's hot chocolate time.
That's a good idea, man.
Yeah.
Next week, hot
chocolate. Because we can't do coffee at this time.
Well, I do, but I shouldn't.
I'm about to say, says you.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
No way.
Oh, yeah.
And it doesn't do anything? Like you're good? Or
I could go to sleep probably 30 minutes afterwards.
1000%. 1000%.
I feel like I was this way.
It's that cozy, like...
caffeine.
Coat your throat. Like, I just like the flavor of coffee that I'm just like, ooh.
Oh, look, I don't feel any. I have to have like 400 milligrams of caffeine to even feel anything. You know what I mean? So it doesn't do anything to me. I'll go to bed.
Right. Oh my gosh. No kidding. Yeah. Well, this is it. Wow. I just had the one just today. The one. This thing is enormous. It's the size of my face. Extra large. But I'm glad you guys. Monopoly days are back at McDonald's. And I've started my little board over here. It's just on my whiteboard, and I printed it. I used to get it like at the stores, but everything's digital now. They want you to get the app, but I've just kind of started collecting my stickers.
You got to print it out?
Yeah. That's
never done that.
I don't think I've ever done it either. usually what happens is I just end up collecting all the little tabs, and it just piles up on my desk, and it's a mess. So this year,
they just get lost or thrown away.
honestly, maybe I could have won before, and I just lost them. Not this year, you guys. Let's
Not
see.
getting one over on you, man. That is something that I miss. I miss those days. We have a question from the community a little bit later about physical media. So we do have a lot to get in here tonight, y'all, on our maiden voyage. But let's kind of kick it off, man. What's been going on in everybody's lives? How are y'all doing? What's been going on, man? Let's start with you, Lachlan. How are you doing, my friend?
Better now. I had a little AC debacle earlier today, which
Oh my
was
gosh,
wonderful.
the AC,
Not
the
Animal
AC.
Crossing.
Oh, no, sorry. Air conditioning, not Animal Crossing. I wish it was an Animal Crossing debacle. Like, I wish that's what it was. But no. Air conditioning. It's working now. The guys fixed it, even though it wasn't even my problem. It was the next door neighbor's problem.
Thankfully.
Fixed.
It's always the neighbors, man.
It's so annoying. But yeah, it's fixed. I have my ring light on, so I'm not blazing hot. So the AC's running and everything. So we're good. We're good. But my day wasn't the best. That's why I'm wearing a just tired t-shirt today.
I just tired.
Because I just tired.
Audio listeners, man, y'all need to be watching us here on youtube.com/carpoolgaming, where we do this thing live, because y'all are missing out if you're not watching the video and seeing.
I have a feeling it'll be a lot
shirts.
I feel like this show will now be a lot of showing physical things. So I think visually, you need
I'm
to
a
kind of
huge
be here
fan
too.
of like show and tell, man. Y'all are gonna see some show and tell tonight, that's for sure. Oh my gosh.
I think I'm gonna put like a little like fireplace gif at the bottom. Right now we've got like the Nintendo Drive logo. Like I just want like the Christmas fireplace just crackling along with us. Yes.
Can do
Oh
the
my
little
gosh, I
Bobby
love it.
like roasting some marshmallows.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yes.
That'd be cute.
I love
New
that.
t-shirt, new sweaters. Yep.
Oh my gosh,
New merch
writes
coming.
itself. The cozy vibes. That was kind of a big thing for us. Is like, and maybe this is just something we're new era of the Nintendo Drive. Maybe we should just kind of like tell the folks too, like kind of our thoughts on it, like kind of just like what it is, now I guess, like because that was like a big thing for us, and I mentioned this a little bit during the AMA, but like a big thing was like we didn't want to just do the same show. We wanted to give it like a totally new flavor, kind of like hangouty, the community still being at the heart of it, having like some more, Nintendo vibes, cozy vibes and stuff like that, especially with the new, evening recording time and stuff. So we're hanging out, man, and we're going to experiment and we're going to play around and we're going to figure it out together. But I'm excited, y'all. I'm really excited, and I'm excited to hear feedback from the community and people. Like, let us know what's working, what's not working, and we're just gonna feel it out and discover it, man.
I think if I was sitting next to you, I might be just a little cuddle session with Seth. I think it'd be pretty nice. We might have to put like visually, we might have to put Lachlan in between us. Like right now, we're just kind of like
we're just hanging out.
Yeah, we're just here.
Oh my gosh.
It's pretty nice, man. For me personally, like this already feels nice because it's a different show than the Nintendo Drive, which is great, but also like it's a different show than the Xbox Drive. Like as much as those two shows, I think were quite different from each other in terms of like what Ryan and I covered versus what like the level of analysis, I guess. But they still like pretty much follow the same kind of structure. I was screaming at the intro and always mixing up who I was talking to, or if Kato was a potato or a tomato or God knows what else. Like that should have hit me much sooner than it has now, which is to say I think I'm going to get a lot of enjoyment out of this being totally different, in the similar way that like We the GamerCast is a much different show. So just creatively it'll be kind of nice. This is my only 3-person show as well, so lots different. We have all of our, platform podcasts, Xbox Drive, PlayStation Drive, Nintendo Drive, sharing the Drive name, but I think each of us finding a little bit of a different tone, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen, you guys? I feel like I'm even toning it down a little bit here.
No,
usually
yeah,
I'm just like, come at you, man.
Are we toning you down with our sultry voices?
I feel like my heart rate is like normal.
Zen Sean.
Yeah. I feel like I'll talk slower, quieter. I don't
Oh
know.
my
It might freak
gosh.
people out though. Like, who is this dude?
I love
Where
it.
is Sean?
Yeah, I don't know. I adjust to my surroundings.
How have you been, Sean? I went off of how I've been. How have you been?
I've been like moving. Speaking of Zen, I've been moving a million miles an hour. I just got back from piano lessons with Lincoln. Now I don't know how to play piano, but he seems to be doing good. He's not in trouble, so that's all good. And he is so like, it's so funny to see him in his element. Like, he ignores me. I'm just in the corner, just kind of like watching, and to see him memorize this stuff so quickly and enjoy piano. I never thought that he would have like the musical kind of touch, and he's loving it. So that's all good. And I keep playing Valfaris, which is speaking of cozy, it's just like this
the most cozy
demon
game
hunting,
ever.
like Contra action, heavy metal game that's on Switch right now. But yeah, we were playing Splatoon on the weekend here at Carpool Gaming on YouTube, and then afterwards we shut down the stream, but we were hanging out in Discord, and I shared my screen for the first time for like 4 or 5 other people, just to kind of like, we were still hanging out, we were still chatting, so I was sharing my screen or my gameplay capture, so some of these guys got to check out Valfaris, and it's a weird indie game. It's super fun, man. Yeah, it's great.
Sold me on it.
Yeah.
So
I'll have to
hang
look it
on,
up.
though. Hey, hang on though. Can we backtrack to Splatoon for a second, because
Oh,
I just want to
please.
talk about this.
All right. Yeah.
So we're playing Splatoon 3, and we're just hanging out. Super fun Saturday here at youtube.com/carpoolgaming. And we had people. What was cool is we had people who were like coming in and joining the session and whatever. Y'all was getting a little too sweaty. I just want to say that right now. It's getting a little bit too sweaty. We were just trying to hang out and like have fun, and it was just getting a little too sweaty. And I just want to put that call out there. We're not trying to do the jump sniping and the MLG Halo 2 clan, matches. Like, that's, Splatoon, y'all. I just want to put that call out there.
Yeah, so we're banning the skilled players, is what we're trying to say.
Skilled players
if you
are
come to
done.
us 1,000 hours into Splatoon 2 and 500 into
Done.
Splatoon 3, sorry guys,
No.
that's it.
Done.
Does that mean I can play because I don't have the game? I can pick it up and I can play. with y'all then?
Definitely, yes.
Yes.
We're gonna have to put some sort of like noobs only call out on that.
Oh my gosh. Noobs
I'm forever
only.
a noob.
It's weird. Well, I'm glad you brought this up, Seth, because yeah, we're streaming and we're playing with the community, and because you do the thing, it's like, what game are you playing Splatoon, and people apparently seek this out, and they're like, can I play? So yeah, like, add me on. You add the Switch code is in the description, so people add me as a friend. And they clearly are just like looking to join streams to destroy souls. Like, that's they're good enough for, like, they could play wherever, whenever, and just random matchmaking or ranked or something. And they come in and we've got this cozy logo and everything is fun. And they're like, how about I bust out a sniper rifle and, headshot you in Splatoon, for goodness sakes.
Oh my gosh. It was like, yeah, you get to the end of the match, like 21 kills or something. It's like, come on.
What game
come
is
on.
this?
It's not even fun
Come on.
anymore.
Yeah,
This is our Nickelodeon kids game, man. Chill out. Be all right.
definitely some tryhards out there.
What is it? Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Yeah. It was fun though. Like, we still had a great time and everything.
Super fun.
But,
Yeah.
I just wanted to, just tone it down a little bit. That's all I want to say. I just want to throw that out there.
Are we
just had to put
sticking
that
with
call out.
Splatoon? Like, what are we doing? Like, there's other multiplayer games, but Splatoon's the hotness right now, I think.
Well, it seems like, I mean, I don't know, and it seems like you can fill a room pretty easily. The community seems excited by it. I'd be curious to know. Mario Kart's always a given,
Right. That
but-
has to wait for, we do that when they drop the new tracks. We'll play it twice, and then we'll wait for the next wave of tracks. That's the silly way that we do things around here for some reason.
Yeah, but I mean, for now it's fun.
Yeah.
For now it's fun. So what
All right,
else,
y'all.
man?
I'm gonna put us back on track here.
Oh, snap.
Okay, good. Yeah,
Do my
thank you.
thing.
Thank you.
We've got some questions. We actually have a lot of questions, But Quagmire on Discord asked or said, "Yay, I'm so excited since Seth is back. I have to ask for a Xenoblade 3 update. How are you enjoying it? And which chapter are you in?"
Yeah, I'm actually glad that Quagmire asked this, because that's basically, like, in terms of like what I've been up to, that's basically it. It's like just Xenoblade. I finished it. We did on my other show, All In, we last week did like a huge review discussion. My co-host Eric and we chatted about that for like an hour and a half, like just this big old review discussion. And I finished it, and it was great, and had a great time with it. I will say, the final boss of that game is awful. It's an awful final boss. Like, it was bad.
Spoiler alert.
I'm just saying it. I'm not gonna spoil the context or anything like that, but the final boss is bad. It just is.
Ah.
And so like that puts a little bit of a bad taste in your mouth when you're like, eh. But the actual ending itself was gorgeous. I'm crying. I mean, that game just wrecked me emotionally. Just under 100 hours it took me to get through it. So
Gosh.
yeah.
I am
Sean, you're playing
months
it.
away. I am months away from this. You've actually finished this. This thing is actually hundreds of hours. Like, I don't know, man. Like, life is coming at me pretty heavy these days. But I gotta figure this out. I've been so distracted with Forza Horizon 5 on Xbox and Valferris of all things, and then Splatoon on the weekends. Like, it's not like I'm not playing anything, but I am not focused, you guys. I'm kind of, I'm just kind of distracted. And today I spent
mode.
Yeah, I got easy come, easy golf because Donnie distracted me with that. I got my Al Villager profile picture thanks to the missions and rewards things. This is everything I've wanted. Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to live my best life. Trying to, anyways. Yeah.
Drellish here in the chat says, bad as in easy. No, it's not that it's easy or whatever. It's just over long. The villain himself is like my least favorite villain of the franchise by far. And I just like, it just wasn't good. Like it's one of those, Xenoblade is always so good about like abandoning those typical JRPG tropes, except when it comes to the final bosses.
Yeah.
All of them just have these overlong, this isn't even my final form. Yeah. Like, it's like that kind of vibes. It's like that with all of them, and 3 is no exception. And that like put such a bad taste in my mouth. But otherwise, the ending was beautiful. And by the way, shout out to Drellish, who's part of the Backtrackers group. We just had a Backtrackers meetup this past weekend. And we talked about the Amnesia games, which is really great. We're getting into like spooky season and whatnot. And Drellish he's in South Africa right now, so he was missed at the session. He was not able to attend, so we love you. And we're hoping to see him back for the next one. We're doing Inscription is the next one, and there are rumors, y'all, that Inscription is gonna be hitting the Switch soon.
Oh,
so it got rated in the PEGI region. So
then that's not, yeah,
Switch
that's
pretty soon.
That's like, there's almost like a scale of rumor, like how, like, is it Jeff Grubb made up stuff, or is it like actually going to happen? Like, that's the scale. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Need a rating system
like, is it just, there's an over under, there's some sort of system, you can color code it like Homeland Security. I imagine. I'm not from your country, so I don't really know how that would work out, but we make fun of it across the border. I think that seems like that's a pretty sure thing. I got to hang out with the Backtrackers, just kind of I had the phone in my pocket.
Oh, that's
and
right. You popped in.
Yeah, it was, and I would say like that's actually a really fun and interesting experience. Like I hadn't played the games that you guys played, but I love hearing the way that you talk about it. And Markus and Delroy and everybody just put together such a wonderful like conversation. It's so welcoming. It might seem, I don't know, like it's intimidating to play a game and then talk about it with a bunch of people, but it's like participate as much as you want. If you want to hang back and do nothing, like I just listened, and it was very nice actually. And just especially
live podcast.
It kind of was, but from people you've never heard podcasts before. Like it's a secret society, man. It's like we gotta have some sort of like Illuminati like logo for the Backtrackers. We've got this cool like treasure
Church.
chest and everything. But
That's what I call it. I call it video game church.
That's so
it's
sweet.
great.
I'm a backslacker. Yes, if you, if you oh my god, that's amazing.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's
we
me.
do, and we do too. Delroy has been putting together these like side trackers things where it's not even about a game. We just hang out. Like we just literally between sessions hang out. So yeah, that's a great thing that's going on in the community.
What's a front tracker, by the way? So you've got back tracker, side trackers. What's a front tracker?
What would be a front tracker?
You're
Play it
only playing
alone
early
before
access
every.
games.
Yeah, they play it before everyone else, and they
In
talk
beta.
amongst their own self.
Definitely.
Oh my gosh.
That
Oh
would
my
be
gosh,
kind
well,
of. That's not quite the same.
We did have a question related to Xenoblade 3, I guess a little bit tangentially from
gosh.
Ngachacha, another Backtrackers alumni. Ngachacha says, since I already know how Sean and Seth feel, this question is specifically for Locklith, for Metalocalyph.
Yes.
What is your favorite Nintendo game of 2022 so far, and why is it Xenoblade Chronicles 3?
Well, comes as no surprise that I am not playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I have the first 2 games, but I've only started the first one. So, my 2022 Nintendo game so far, I would have to say is Cult of the Lamb, even though I haven't played it as much as I want to play it. I just was so impressed by the game and just how it hits both of those almost like personality sides to me, where it's like that darkness, which can get kind of scary, and then that like cutesy stuff that I'm into. Like I think we talked about it last week. It's just merges those two things, and I love that game. And I wish I could like pick it up and play it more. Like I always think like, oh, I need to get back into it. I need to get back into it. I just keep playing the same fucking games all the time. But that's my answer.
Cult of the Lamb. I feel like that's going to be... I feel like when we get to the end of the year, I think you're going to be seeing a lot of people talking about Cult of the Lamb.
Oh, I agree. I hope so. It seems like it kind of came at a time that it could like eventually get forgotten maybe a little bit. And I say that only to prevent it from happening. But like we are about to hit, 4 games every few hours at this point. Like Overwatch is dropping right now.
Yeah.
Not necessarily that it's like a Nintendo game, but it is coming out on Switch. Like it's featured right next to Splatoon. And yes, I am on the eShop, so there you go.
Of course. I mean, of course.
Because I have Cult of the Lamb on Xbox, but I'm like, why don't I have this on Switch? I don't know if it's cross save though, and I really just want to.
I don't think so either.
Probably not. That would help though. That would that's the thing. I would actually buy it twice if it was like if I could kind of go with it.
Actually bought because they have like merch for Cult of the Lamb too, and they posted on Twitter the other day like you can pre-order certain stuff, and so I bought the little plushie, and I say little, I think he's like this big, and he's got like a big head and stuff. So I've got the little lamb coming in. I think I don't think it comes in till like next year, but like I was like, I need it
next year.
I need it.
What?
Yeah, like early next year is when it's supposed to come in, but you had to pre-order it like a couple weeks ago.
It might be the most like merch ready indie game since I don't know, like Shovel Knight, maybe. Like I don't know, maybe Ori is kind of indie, but not really. Like that's what it reminds. Like I've got a little. I think where the heck is my little Shovel Knight guy? Oh no,
you
got a
have
little
one.
Shovel Knight somewhere in there, right?
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him. My kids come in
somewhere.
here. Maybe my kids
He
stole.
burrowed.
Oh no, I've lost my Shovel Knight. But Cult of the Lamb is there. Great design.
So I definitely that's one that I think is going to get shouted out a lot when we get to the end of the year, for sure. You should play. Have you played Xenoblade 1? You said you've been playing that a little bit. Are you liking it? Is it like your vibe?
I do like it. I like games that are like that, especially. There's a lot of side quests you can do in that game.
Big time.
And so I get caught up in doing all the side quests that I haven't progressed very far into the actual story. But I love games like that. I just know how many hours you need to put into it. And so I'm just like, another day. I have it physical, and I have the second one on physical too. just found them at the game store locally in my town, and so I was like, I've heard this is a good game. I think I bought it because you mentioned it, Seth.
Yeah,
being a good one.
influencer.
Yes,
He really
influencer
is.
life.
Like, for
Oh my
real, that's the
gosh.
reason I saw
Careful.
it in the wild, and I was like, I
Yeah.
need it.
Careful, Seth. They're gonna send you a chair, man. Someone will
That'd
send
be
you
great.
a chair. Yeah,
I'd
I
take
would
a
accept
chair.
the chair just to put it out there.
Hey.
I'm good with it, man.
I can and will be bought 1,000%. I can send me that chair. No, no, Xenoblade's great. Well, if you Xenoblade Chronicles 3 does not solve that problem. I'm sorry to say, Lockleth.
I figured as much.
It will take a lot of time. We had somebody in the chat, I think it was Drellish in the chat, asked for Lockless bio, and I'm wondering if that's something that we should just jump straight into, you guys.
Who the heck are these people?
Yeah, who are these people?
Where did you
are
come
you?
from?
Wait a minute, who are you?
Yes.
I love
That was pretty spot on too.
No kidding.
Who are you? We
Yeah.
actually had that kind of in our notes, like we were kind of planning on going through like our Nintendo histories a little bit. And I mean, since we've been given the perfect segue, maybe we should just take that opportunity. Lockleth, who are you?
Can we make that like a sound bite? Like, we can like
Yes.
press.
Maybe I'll plug in my Steam Deck again. I need to pick this up off the ground. I'm a mess,
Oh
you
my
guys. Like,
gosh.
honestly, I'm an absolute mess. The more I open up about this stuff, you guys are gonna realize like I'm a disaster. Like this is not even connected.
Y'all need to watch the live feed or watch this on YouTube, because
God.
literally every 5 seconds Sean is like bent over reaching something.
I'm like doing laundry over here. Like I'm
went from
doing
standing to
chores and
sitting.
stuff. I'm just
He's done so many things.
I know.
Digging through the junk pile, man.
I'm realizing that we're in for a bit of a chat, so I don't have to. I've been standing all day. You know, back in the day, this was starting the day, and I don't need to do this anymore. I can sit on the bike.
Unwinding now, dude.
Sit around the
Yeah.
campfire with us and chill.
I'm gonna get honestly
Yes.
like this webcam is hardly working anyways. I think next week I'll just like go on my recliner and set the stream up from my laptop. Like we're getting
Oh my
comfy,
gosh.
everybody. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit on 3 pillows and have 2 blankets and my hoodie and a bubble pipe.
and a hot cocoa.
Yes. And I won't go out and buy it or make it myself. I'll have it delivered. Some sort of Uber Eats or something.
Ryan says at least you're not sitting in the corner. So
That's true. Yes.
You're not in the corner yet.
I'm being attentive, if a little distracted, but it's nice having 3 people here, you know?
it gives a little extra spice. And speaking
Yeah.
of spice, I'm going to talk about myself.
Yeah. Who are
Who am I?
I?
All right, yeah, that's literally what I was about to say. I don't know. Who are we really? Like, life is but
Deep.
Heady.
forever going on and things,
Yeah.
right? We're all getting older
Yeah.
every second.
Oh God.
Oh my gosh.
to be more-
Why did it go this
No.
place?
Morbid, that's part of me.
Holy
there you go.
moly.
There's a little piece. That's why Cult of the Lamb and I are just like, ooh.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I've been doing content for YouTube for over a year. It was like July of last year when I started doing content on YouTube, specifically Animal Crossing, but the past like over 6 months ago, I think I've been doing like variety games too. So I post at least twice a week. I try to anyways. This week is not a good week for me, but I try to post twice a week. So I've been doing a lot of that, but I also have a real girl job day to day throughout the week too, which I won't go into details. It's actually pretty boring, but I have a 9 to 5, so that's the boring side of me. But when I'm on my off hours, I'm playing games, doing content. Just started streaming a couple weeks ago too on my
Yes.
Yes.
YouTube. So I'm getting used to it. So this helps too, also to have the 2 gentlemen next to me. Makes this a little bit easier to have people with me too. When I'm by myself, it's a little different. I'm really reliant on chat and just getting
Because
used
otherwise you're just
to.
screaming into the void.
Yeah. It kind of felt that way the last time I streamed because nobody was there yet, and so I was just doing what I do for videos, which is just talking about what I'm doing as I'm doing it, which took me a while to get used to doing that, but doing content on YouTube kind of gets you used to that. But that's a little bit about me, I guess. I don't know. I've played soccer before.
Yeah.
A whole lot.
Yo,
It's a whole
that's
lot. I grew
cool.
up playing soccer. I played since I was like 6 years old. I haven't played in many years, but I played for a long time. That was my sport that my parents watched me play growing up.
I feel like
no
that's
idea.
so rare to hear people play soccer.
Playing soccer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
You're in
I play
Canada,
soccer.
though.
I mean, I don't know. Like is it that popular in the States? I don't know. Like it's like basketball or baseball or anything else, like golf, for goodness sakes.
I think it's more
Football.
common
Yeah.
now. I want to say it's more common now. At least in the States. I don't know about everywhere. It's obviously like in the UK and Europe and stuff, it's like definitely always been very common. And my husband's a big Liverpool fan, if y'all have heard of that. A football club. But
over
Is that
my
over
head.
your head, Seth?
Right over my
there's
head.
something that
No
goes
clue.
over Seth's head.
Oh wow.
Oh, right over my head.
Wow.
No
Yes,
clue.
let's talk
Yeah.
sports.
I think Kevin's Arsenal. I'll
Oh,
leave it
no,
down there.
boo.
Yeah, okay, that's not
Boo,
gonna work
Kevin.
out. Yeah. Oil
Wow.
and vinegar.
Yes, Drellish, Klopp, exactly. So that's the manager's name of the team.
Y'all are speaking a different language. You're talking about Klopp.
See, that's what I
I'm like,
mean.
what are
Like
you
that's
saying?
that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I expect people to say when somebody brings up soccer. They're like, "What?" Like,
I don't know
Holy, no.
anything about soccer. Now we start talking about hockey, I can communicate. That's about it.
That's where you and Sean can be.
I'll talk to both of you
buddies
guys.
on
That's
that.
what I'm here
Yeah,
for.
there you
Like,
go.
Yeah.
I was born into both, man. We couldn't afford hockey. There's 4 kids, and like that wasn't gonna happen. You know how much hockey costs to play? Goodness gracious! And like, God forbid your kid is a goalie. It's like
Oh, yeah.
$15,000
God.
worth of gear
Okay.
for this kid.
All right,
man.
let me just tell you this. So I grew up in Chicago. I grew up in the south side of Chicago, all right? And we used to do, my cousins and our friends and I, we would play street hockey in the parking lot at our church. And what we did was, so they had sticks and they had nets, and that was like about it, right? And what I ended up doing, because they had me playing goalie, and my grandfather worked at, bless his heart, he worked at a cardboard box factory for
Come
like 40
on.
years. And so what I did was, I didn't have any gear. They wanted me to play goalie. I had no gear, right? So what I did was I took the cardboard boxes and I folded them and I duct taped them to my arms and legs. And so I would just look like this cardboard, robot, playing playing hockey. And it was not smart because like the second you get hit, it doesn't, there's hardly any padding at all. Yeah, big time. It wasn't good.
That's like playing soccer without shin guards, and you just put
Don't
cardboard.
recommend.
Yeah.
Don't recommend.
Mess up your shins. No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got bruises, but it's all right. It'll be okay. I'm still here.
Who knew we would talk sports on this podcast? But
Who was it? I think Lee said Nintendo Sports Drive. Yes.
Yes. Love that. Well, we had a question from Brian Eck, and he, Brian left us a really nice sentiment, and I think this is something to tap into here. And he begins his comment saying, "My grandma and I watched Kato's final episode on the Nintendo Drive last night, and we loved it. Shout outs to Kato. We love Kato. Kato has a birthday coming up, and big shout outs to Kato. We were sharing different Kato moments and laughing all night. What a great final episode. The future of the show is in good hands. Seth and Locklith are going to be wonderful co-hosts. Thank you. We hope so." And Brian Eck and his grandma ask us, our question for the new hosts, what was your first Nintendo game and or console, and what memories do you have of it? So, and this is something that you and I can talk about, Lachlan, too, but I wonder, Sean, maybe you've talked about this in the past or whatever, but maybe people don't know that about you. So what are kind of our Nintendo histories, our first Nintendo game and or console, and memories and whatnot?
What if every time this question comes up for me, I make up a new story?
That'd
Like
be
it's
great.
not. We'll see who's keeping track. And go like, wait a second, that's
Call
not
you
what he
out
said
on it.
last time. Yeah, exactly.
Hang on.
That'd be super fun. Because like I think for me, like it's a different story depending on like for real, depending on like how you want to define it. Like my first Nintendo experience wasn't my own. It was at a friend's house. It was at neighbor Matt's house. But my first console, like the first thing I ever like owned, was a Game Boy that I saved up money, either birthday money, or I was delivering flights. Like, guys, I've been working since I've been 8 years old, and I've never not had a job. And so I had we delivered papers when I was a kid. I was a paper boy, me and my brothers and sister. We'd go out, and my parents were like, yeah, that's all well and good, but we're taking half of that money and putting it into an education account. I almost wanted to pause on that. We're taking your money just to make my parents see like the Matilda parents or something. Like I live in a closet under the stairs or something. Like,
the trauma.
Latchkey kid.
Why am I living with my uncle and aunt? What is happening to the story? No, they were very smart. They realized they had 4 kids, and they weren't going to pay for all of our university and stuff like that. But they contributed, take half of our birthday money, take half of our employment cash, which meant that I wasn't wasting it on like Pogs and stuff, which I absolutely would have.
Yes.
But yeah, I started to kind of put money away, and then that age that you get to where you can start negotiating like birthday presents, where you go like, I'll pitch this much if you like do this, and then you get like this mega present. And that's what the Game Boy was for me. I missed out on the gray brick, but they started doing those awesome colors, and I got a green Game Boy, and I bought Donkey Kong Land, very, very special moment. So I had a nice green Game Boy, yellow cartridge in this thing. And I bought it from a grocery store. Like, we didn't have Best Buy back then. We went to like the photo lab where you take your film to get developed. And it was in that section that you could buy like your boom boxes and your CD players and whatever else. And then also your consoles. So that's where I got my Game Boy. I drove it. My dad was driving me home, and I'm in the passenger seat of his 1977 Volkswagen Rabbit. Nice, puke green inside and out. And I was just trying, I had that classic and continue to have those classic Game Boy memories of like just trying to see it properly. What I remember most about Donkey Kong Land, especially on that drive home, was that like the contrast you had to really get right, because the graphics were so intense. Like it was a dot matrix version of Donkey Kong Country. So there's almost too much graphics on this thing. So yeah, that's my first
contrast slider. Oh yeah,
and you try to. There's that when there's too much detail, but also as the batteries start to run out, you crank it just to try to get the most out of like the little bit.
Extra juice.
You're like shaking it. You're kind of like cocking it on your wrist or up against the wall. Yeah. I just I went through probably hundreds of AA batteries on my Game Boy. That was my first one.
Oh man, I love that. I guess, well, okay, so my first memory of just life in general is my Uncle Aaron playing the original Legend of Zelda on NES. That's my first just life memory. And I owe so much to that franchise. I love Zelda. That's my favorite gaming franchise. And that really was what it was. And I ended up getting like his hand-me-downs like throughout my entire life. So like when Super Nintendo came out, I got his NES. When, GBA came out, I got his Game Boy Color, whatever it was. And that was kind of like my pathway for many years until Nintendo 64 came out. And that was my first, like, this was mine. Well, like, really, it was mine and my sister's, but this was the first one that I owned for myself. The others were just hand-me-downs from my Uncle Aaron. And he's like a huge reason why I'm the person I am today. And yeah, that was my first. I mean, it was Legend of Zelda, it was Super Mario Brothers 3, and kind of like he had that like what's that phrase, that like train up a child in the way he should go, or whatever, that like phrase. That's how. Have you ever heard that?
I think you made that up.
I think I know what you're talking about.
It's an old like it's an old. I think maybe it's a Christian adage. I don't know.
That's probably why I feel like that's why I think.
Yeah.
I think it's a thing, because I think I know, but I've been out of that for so long that I'm like, I think I know, but I don't know.
I gotta Google this.
Out of the church and into the cult of the Lamb.
That's what I was about to say, Sean.
Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. That's it. So that was my uncle, though. That was he was like training me up, And like from the time I was 3, 4 years old, or however old I was, it was Zelda and Mario and stuff like that. So I'm a lifelong Nintendo fan. But yeah, it was the Nintendo 64 that was my first console, and I've owned them all since. It's been like a through line through various means of its birthdays, of its Christmas, whatever. But I just I'm a lifelong Nintendo fan, and I know that there's a lot of N64 chatter that's been happening in the Discord, and I know, Lachlan, when it comes to your Nintendo history, tell us about that, because I know the N64 is a big part of that for you.
It is. I do vaguely remember playing the NES, and we had one too. I remember more playing it like at like the family friend's house. I had one, and we would play Duck Hunt over there. Like it'd be like, we're gonna go have a meal with this family, and we'd have like fried fish, like catfish and stuff.
Yeah.
And I would go in the other room and just play Duck Hunt or like Mario Bros or something like that. I remember playing it there more than at my house, but I do know we had one. And I think we had The Legend of Zelda like at home. I remember that it was like a gold cartridge, right?
Gold cart.
Yeah.
Big
Yeah,
time.
I remember like seeing that and like tangibly like holding one growing up. But yeah, the N64 is where I remember the most.
Yeah.
And playing John's favorite game, the Kirby and the Crystal Shard.
How does this keep happening?
Yeah.
It's a daily thing now. Like, I'm getting attacked. I don't understand this. You guys might
Personally attacked.
If it's not Kirby, it's the
Vendetta.
other thing. I can't even mention it, or it will appear. Somebody's just like standing in a mirror somewhere saying these words, and then I'm getting attacked. Like it's like a voodoo doll situation here. Ryan, no.
There it is.
No.
Ryan ripped the
Absolutely
Band-Aid
not.
off in the chat.
Absolutely not.
Let's send Sean a Jar Jar plush.
So the
or something.
64 is so special. How about we just jump back to the,
Just circle back to that. Circle back to
that
that.
64 thing. I think it's interesting because like we're all, I think, like somewhat, we're not exactly the same age, but the fact that the 64 is maybe one of the consoles that we can like really center around,
Totally.
I would say. Like I don't know, like I'm old as dirt, so I definitely remember, I remember the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Dam level, and of course Mario Bros. Duck Hunt and all this other stuff. The cartridges with like 100 or 400 games on them or whatever. Like some of those just ridiculous carts on the NES. But the 64 was the one where probably more, maybe the only other thing that is like this is like the Virtual Boy, where I remember going to Toys R Us, like just to try to sneak a play in with the demo with that TV that's way too high. But it was my neighbor who I grew up with. They lived next door, and this guy ended up just like, they both ended up growing up to become engineers. And it's so weird that I remember this because my memory's so bad. He grabbed the controller and he's like, "Oh, look at this! You just like press the stick a little forward and he walks, but if you push it all the way forward, he runs." And he picked that up as like, I don't know, like 8 or 10 years old or something like that. Like he noticed this interesting mechanic about that was new to the 64. Obviously you couldn't have that with the D-pad before. So like this, I don't know, that demo. The ability to play Mario 64 at Toys R Us, it's like, it's a seminal moment. If you were there, I don't think you ever forget that, It's such a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, that was for me too. Like that, my first exposure, I think it was a Walmart demo kiosk where, you would like, they would have the TV up like way high and you would like hurt your neck, like looking up at it. And yeah, I remember it was like Super Mario 64. It's like it came from outer space.
Oh yeah.
Like, it was, I mean, like, I remember it's like, oh, it looks like Toy Story. That was like the big, line and whatever. And like, it was like, it was wild.
It just felt like it came to be. Like it felt like, you're right. Like you say outer space, like it just seemed like it wasn't stitched together. Like this was not a man-made creation. This was divinely created.
Manifested.
Yes. Like it's just, I don't know. There's so many other games, especially in that era, the new 3D kind of time, where you could see the struggles. And of course, now we look back on Mario 64 and go like, oh, they could fix this and whatever. But this is as it should be. And Sonic, I think, is a good example where things could go maybe a little wrong, maybe more often than they should. But that game got it right in so many important ways. Even just the fun factor of being able to like smush Mario's face at the start. Like that's just weird.
The pulling.
Like they did that first. That wasn't like, oh, you know, the next console or anything. They just came out weird, which I think is amazing.
We actually have quite a bit, due to N64 being such like a favorite, we have quite a bit of questions. So one of them being the Winter Gamer asked, what was the best color for the N64 and why is it atomic purple? I already know my answer. And it's not the atomic purple. I have the red one, but that's not. I looked at like all the different colors and actually watched like some YouTube channel did a like, you know, his whole Nintendo collection like tour. And I found out during that like a month ago when I watched it that they made a jungle green.
Yes.
I wish I had a jungle green.
That's
that
mine.
looks so good. Or the orange one, but the jungle green is like green. I just love it.
That's my favorite. That was going to be my answer. That jungle green one, by the way, it came with Donkey Kong 64, which I liked it when I was a kid. It's like hard to go back to now because there's just so much, but like the personality just totally comes through. That is my N64 color of choice. That jungle green. Yeah.
What do you say, Sean?
I'm so boring. Like OG black. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I like just the console itself. Now the controllers are a completely different story. I like the colors, and especially in my story about the Game Boy earlier. I feel like I might be wrong about this, but I feel like the colors are exactly the same. Whatever they had for the Game Boy, like not translucent or whatever, not see-through or anything, just like the hard colors for the controllers were that's where my heart lies. Like, and all of them, I can't even pick a favorite. Like yellow, red, blue, green, like they all were incredible and better than the gray. You know, sometimes they have like these designs that come out afterwards. Like you didn't want the gray one, which is weird. You usually want like the original one. But yeah, that Dark Forest green controller, really nice, especially with like the colored buttons as well. Like A, B, and the C buttons, like it all just worked. That palette was so awesome and very 90s, very basic. You know, it wasn't flashy or anything. It was fine.
I like the primary colors. So I have a yellow controller, so it's like all those primary colors.
I love
But
that.
if I had that green one, that would just be chef's kiss.
An underrated thing about the Nintendo 64 that nobody talks about are the names and like the descriptors for the colors.
Yeah.
So it's like jungle green, fire orange,
watermelon
red,
yes,
grape purple. I love this. Why isn't this standard? Oh my gosh, it's
all
so
color
good.
editions of anything need to be food, like or some
Related
sort of
to
like
food.
Jolly Rancher candy or something. Like
Oh my god.
some sort of
They're
partnership.
literally palpable with the names.
Oh yeah, yeah. You can taste them after you warm them up with your sweaty, stupid hands. Just a little.
It's that Willy Wonka thing. Oh my gosh.
What's wrong with that?
There's nothing
my
wrong with
God.
that. I'll take it. So the N64 chat was just like really popping off in the community this week. I think wasn't there like an N64 anniversary or something like that? Wasn't that was what I think started it? It was some kind of anniversary. Dude, there's so many
think so. It
anniversaries.
was
I
like
can't keep up with them.
Is it like the 20? Wait, I don't want to say it to be wrong.
I don't want to know
really
it. I don't want to know it.
Yeah, it's more than you think.
It's too long.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's too much.
I want to say it was 96 that it came out. I don't know if that's anything significant.
Sounds right. That sounds right.
So
Yeah,
maybe
that
it was
sounds
an anniversary, but it's like, I don't know, 26 years. I guess, is that what that is?
6? I was thinking 25, but
Yeah.
maybe not.
No, guys. Just
I
no,
know. Why
don't
are
wanna
we bringing up number? Well, you
I don't
know,
wanna know.
we're in an interesting spot with this being our first episode together. I feel like we can kind of like pull back the curtain and just, you know, show how the sausage is made a little bit. One thing that, or if that's okay, you guys can just like totally cut me
Yeah.
off, kick me under the virtual table here. But it's like, we noticed that there's such incredible conversation happening in the Discord, like on a daily basis. It's kind of a dream. Like when you set out to create a community, and you have your Discord, and you just hope that people find it a welcoming place and that they can share thoughts and ideas and find friends and all that stuff. And to find that happening at the Carpool Gaming Discord is like, I want to tell my parents, like, you would not believe like what is happening. It's so cool. But personally, like, I sometimes don't know like where to jump in, but I feel like this is a great opportunity to kind of go like, what's been happening in the Discord? So, I don't know if people ever feel this way, that like, I don't know, do we just chat here for no reason or anything? Like, I think that this is a really interesting kind of meta game that can happen, where the chat that's happening in the Discord, particularly in the Nintendo Drive channel, obviously, will influence what we talk about here. Like, this is an element of what hopefully is going to make this show a little bit different. We always want to focus our stuff on community, so this is kind of like our weird spin on that. But yeah, I thought that's neat. Like, we've had a lot of long conversations over the last week and a half or so, and I thought that was kind of an interesting, like that. I've been doing podcasts a long time, and I've never really done that. If anything, Bobby Pauls would go into the Nintendo Voice Chat Facebook group and come up, like, steal questions from over there. Topics for our shows. It's like, I actually thought that was a pretty good idea, but we don't have to do that anymore. We don't need you anymore, IGN.com. Speaking of N64.com.
Yeah, it used to be N64.com, fun fact. Yeah. And that was, it was kind of cool. We could literally, see the conversation that's already happening in the community, this thing that is already at the heart of it, and form the show around that. This doesn't need to be, we have a couple of news related things we want to talk about, but like, it's not, this doesn't have to be the news show.
Definitely not.
You know what I mean? Like, that's never been what the Nintendo Drive is. So it's really cool to get to like engage with y'all in this way and just like chat about this stuff. So yeah, with that in mind though, so Presto the Magnificent, shout outs to Presto.
Shout out to Presto. No kidding.
Presto. What a good guy. He has his own podcast, Off the Wall, which is like one of the most, that's one heck of a podcast. That's a very Presto podcast. Presto says, so excited for this. Here's a question for the show. If you lost all of your gaming memories except one, which memory would bring you back to gaming / recover your lost memories? Oh, and what N64 game do you think doesn't get talked about enough? So he's going like weird, like Rosebud, Citizen Kane, like heady topic here, and then also underrated N64 game. What do y'all think?
I have my answer.
I love you can't even contain yourself over here. What is gonna happen?
Go for it. I want to know.
The game that would bring me back and bring those memories just flooding back in and be like, oh yeah, I really love gaming, is Kirby's Dream Land.
Stop.
On the Game Boy.
Okay, no, okay, yes. I take it back. I had Kirby's Dream Land 2 on the Game Boy. That game is great. I'm here. I'm not gonna just like blanket hate Kirby. So I don't know if you're doing that just to get a rise out of me, because it's not working. Okay.
No,
it's legit.
I literally read the question and I was like, what is the first game that would come to mind?
I'm just replaying what just happened. I was watching you. Now knowing your answer was Kirby, I was watching you like just you're at the mic like biting your hands like you can't wait. Yes. You're just like, let me go first. Pick me.
So that I literally just thought like, what is the first game I can think of that would bring that nostalgia? Because I need that nostalgia to bring, I would assume bring those memories back, and like that's one that I remember at first finishing the entire game. That's the first game I ever actually completed. There was only one boss that I couldn't finish, like couldn't beat, that I always passed it to my brother and he'd beat it for me, and then I finished the rest of the game. But other than that, I pretty much beat the entire game several times. And so that would be one of those games that it would just bring it all flooding back into my brain. So, and that's why I was laughing, because I was like, Sean's probably going to be like, you're just a broken record with these Kirby games. But yeah, that's like, they have a special place there.
Oh my gosh.
And then my underrated N64 game was Jet Force Gemini.
Oh, nice.
Yo, yes.
Loved that game. And loved that you shot up little, like, they're technically drones, but they're just ants, basically. They're just ants that you're shooting up and stuff, and loved that game. And then you're saving these little, like, koala-looking characters. I have it upstairs. I should have brought the cartridge down here, but yeah. That game. Very underrated. I don't think I've ever heard anyone talk about it before.
It's got pockets, I think. I think it's a sort of a cult classic, but definitely not, Pilot Wings or Mario or anything like that.
Dude, I'm just like, I'm finding Keep Nintendo weird guests like left and right here.
Was the question underrated 64
gosh.
games or just Nintendo games?
N64.
Oh shoot!
I think it's
Oh, no.
N64. Yeah. So what game would bring back your like lost gaming memories? What game is your Rosebud? And then what is an underrated N64 game that doesn't get talked about enough?
So for me, like I think this is a memory that a lot of people might share. That the sleepover, when you're 8, 9, or 10 or something, like you go to a friend's house, you're just playing Nintendo all night. There's a bunch of these that I could probably pick from, Killer Instinct nights or various wrestling games. But the one that I will pick is playing Street Fighter 2, just regular Street Fighter 2. And we had winner goes on rules. I don't know if it's basically King of the Hill.
Oh.
So if you won, you get to keep going. But if you lost, you had to pass it on to the next person, and you wouldn't be able to go again until the controller makes its way around the room as people kind of keep playing the winner. So losing was devastating. Like with these birthday parties and these sleepovers and stuff, you didn't want to lose because you're not going to be able to play again for a long time. And so the stakes were as high as they get for at-home Street Fighter kind of tournaments. So that was on Super Nintendo. That would bring me back instantly. Like that's the intensity, like I had just a ridiculous fascination with Street Fighter. These characters blew my mind. I'd never seen anybody like I don't think like Dragon Ball came for me personally until like years later, but like to see like this dude throw a fireball out of his hands, like what is that? And I remember very specifically after seeing Street Fighter for the first time, going back home and trying to do all the moves like with my younger brother. Like I'm 100 hand slaps man. Like we didn't know any of the names. We didn't know E Honda or anything, but like all those things, like this dude, like this green man with like the crazy hair would like electrocute, or the yoga dude from India would light the guys on fire. Like that stuff blew my. I'd never seen anything like it, and just a total like innocent kid kind of memory of just playing in our family room, just doing just doing all the things. Chun-Li, like how does she go upside down? Like that doesn't make any sense at all. So these are things that we take for granted, I think, now that those moments are really special. And Street Fighter 2, like shout out to Street Fighter 2 for memory for me. But the N64 game I would say is underrated, probably very underplayed, is International Superstar Soccer. I'm telling you guys, you need to look up video on this just for the commentary alone. I don't know if this is good. I don't think I want to pick a game that's like, everybody likes a lot, but International Superstar Soccer is great. It's Mad Lib's commentary. It's like insert a country name, insert a verb name. Like that's how you could see it, like stitch it together. So it'd be like, Germany has endless stamina. Like it was this amazing, the commentary, you guys, it's memorable until like the day I died. You know, my memory is not the best, but I have this locked in here. What the crack? Like it's really good. Go check it out.
Oh my gosh, I've got to look this up.
International Superstar Soccer.
That's like me thinking about like NBA Jam. Like
yes,
he's
commentary on
that.
Yeah.
Boom shakalaka.
Boom. I had it on Game Boy Tournament Edition. Yeah.
Had it on Jaguar.
Wow.
Jaguar.
Wow. Guys,
we're gonna have so many. Nintendo.
I know we're gonna have so many spin-off podcasts out of this. I saw in the chat like the Sega Drive is coming up at some point. The Jaguar, yes.
Oh my gosh.
The Tiger Electronics Drive.
Yes, dude. Holy moly.
Jaguar,
I love it.
Yes.
So I guess for me, like it would be easy for me to go Zelda, Mario, whatever, for like the games that would like flood the memories back. But I'm going to use this opportunity to do a couple of things. Because first of all, this would be a legitimate answer for like a game that is nostalgic for me, remind me why I love video games, whatever. But we also need, and hopefully this isn't too bad of a glare, the redemption arc here on the Nintendo Drive for Banjo-Kazooie. We need the redemption arc here. This is my childhood copy of Banjo-Kazooie that I'm holding up in front of the camera. And this is one of my favorite games of all time. I'm sorry. And look, we love Kato, but we have to have the redemption arc here on the Nintendo Drive for Banjo-Kazooie. It's a phenomenal game, full of personality. It is one of the best 3D platformers ever made. It's fantastic. I'm sorry. It's great. And I don't care who knows it. Look, everybody's saying
I'm trying to drag
here.
the Nintendo Drive logo over your face right now. Not that that would really do anything.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. You can do it. No, and there are things about it that don't hold up. And I understand that, like, the camera doesn't hold up because, like, none of the cameras in any of the N64 games hold up. But I think that genuinely everything else, the level design, the music, the visuals, like, just the personality, I love that game. Phenomenal.
I'm still formulating my opinion. I played a little bit over the weekend and I got a little bit of rage and had to stop.
Yeah,
man.
You don't say.
It was because of the camera, like Seth just mentioned. I was getting so fed up with the camera and controls that I just had to put it down and walk away. But I want to play it a little bit more. I want to actually finish a level. I couldn't even finish the level. I was like, I'm done. I can't.
It's the camera. The camera doesn't hold. The camera in none of those games hold up. And I think that like that was something that they were still learning at that time. But I mean, dude, like and maybe this is got some nostalgia stuff with it, but like I genuinely think that in many ways it still holds up. So somebody has to carry the torch here. I will die on that hill. I will carry that cross.
Yeah, swap it out for Blast Core at least. Like, come on, man.
Blast Core is great. Don't get me wrong. Cool. And that would be an underrated one that people don't talk about enough for sure. So I was listening to the latest We the GamerCast this morning on my drive home from taking my wife to the airport. I wonder if you've ever heard of that, Sean. So Sean had on We the GamerCast in this latest episode, Charles. I'm blanking on what's his last name?
Charles McGregor.
Yeah, Charles McGregor, and it was such a great episode. He's the developer of Hyperdot, and just a phenomenal episode of We the GamerCast. Definitely go check that out. And I'm listening to this, and I literally had to pause it and send Sean a video message because I was like, I love this guy. He's shouting out all of these like underrated chameleon twists. He's shouting out Buck Bumble, the greatest theme song
he's got it right there
on the Nintendo 64.
He came prepared.
No kidding.
It's show and tell, y'all. It's show and tell.
Next time you need to pull them out of your beard, though. Like they're all in your desk, though. Like just like just like unzip.
Like the Peter Griffin and the birds.
Yes, yes. And then he goes the Shake game. He's like, "What's that Shake game?" And I'm screaming in my car, "Mischief Makers!" Yes, it's my favorite. It's so good. So there are so many underrated N64 games. Now, like by and large, N64 is probably my least favorite Nintendo console, but some of those like just weird, underrated games are so special. Do
you think, Seth, like, and I don't know, you guys might have chatted about this on your show before, but like, we had the NES Classic, we had the Super Nintendo Classic, the mini edition things, and then we got to like 64, and there was a lot of chatter about like, a lot of those games don't hold up, and it's really just the rare games. Like, I don't know if you, like, it seems like you would probably have a little something to say about that narrative that quickly became like the overriding narrative about the 64 as we look back on it. Yeah,
it definitely, it's a really weird and like formative time for video games. Like N64 was in that, we're trying to figure out 3D gaming, we're trying to figure it out. And there's a lot of like games that hold up from that. There are games that don't hold up from that. And like for me, right? I know everybody loves Super Mario 64. For me, it's hard to go back to. You know what I mean? Like that's the one for me that's hard to go back to is Mario 64.
What'd be great is if they just ported it straight to the Switch alongside two other Mario games that they don't do any sort of upgrades to at all, even though they've done upgrades to previous Mario games in a collection that they brought.
And then take them away.
They called it All Stars. Like, oh my God, Nintendo!
Nobody remembers that.
I don't want to go there now. We're having a very lovely, like, nostalgic chat. I lost control.
But I do think we're in a weird spot. Nintendo 64 is a weird spot, and I think that a lot of people kind of hold it in that nostalgic place, and it's special and it's formative for us. But when you look at it objectively, it's like, but I think it's okay to look at things like subjectively sometimes. Like, I think it's okay to be like, it doesn't hold up, but I love it.
I think it holds up. Those wrestling games, WrestleMania 2000, Not wrestling, but Wave Race. Like, again, like it's not all about the rare games on the 64.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you can
Not
play
all.
with 4 people, the fact that we didn't care if it was 12 frames per second, the fact that you could play Turok and not be able to see more than 4.5 feet in front of your face, like because of the pea soup fog and everything. Like 64, you had Star Fox with 2 multiplayer levels and one of them was good. It was such a crazy time. We didn't know, like our standards didn't exist. So we were just, I guess, happy to be playing games. You know, I guess that's just how I was raised. Eat your liver. You're just lucky to have like dinner on the table, man. I guess I'll eat my liver and play 2 levels of Star Fox.
I was like, what?
Yep.
That went very...
What? Eat your liver? What are we...
I know.
Sean just lost
Just
it for a
saying,
second.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Eat your liver.
Eat
I
your
should
liver.
say too, Majora's
Iron
Mask
helps
is
us
probably Majora's Mask is probably my favorite game of all time, and like that's a Nintendo 64 game, so I can't disparage
Yes!
the N64 too much.
That gets lost in all of this stuff. It's like, don't you all just say like Ocarina of Time is the best thing like ever, and take or leave 64. You can't say both. No.
Kirby in 3D. Hello. Excuse me.
Yes.
Not necessary. Not.
Those graphics for Kirby were just ahead of its time.
Can I be honest with you? Like, this is how like dense I am, because I was playing Kirby primarily on the Game Boy, and I would have bought the game, but put the box away, just playing with the cartridge, never really looking at it. It didn't occur to me until years and years later that Kirby is pink.
Pink, yeah.
Yep, didn't even know that there was a color to that little guy. Yep.
Well, they put him white on the box when they put it in color, which was a mistake, I believe.
Oh, maybe that's why.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, on the boxies, it's still like that.
Wait a second.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Wasn't it a Nintendo America issue, or I can't remember what I watched like a whole history on it. But yeah, they had him white even though the box is in color. Kirby was still white even though he's technically pink. That was like the earliest.
Oh, okay. I had Kirby's Dream Land 2. I'm looking at the box. He's definitely pink here. I should have known. Kirby's Dream Land 2.
That's all right.
Where you could kind of like ride. It was almost like Yoshi before Yoshi. Like you could ride a little like mouse thingy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the animal buddies, Rick, Kind, and Koo. Yeah, dude.
Oh my god. Man, we need to do an episode about Game Boy, you guys.
Oh yeah.
Please.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's waiting to happen.
Wario
for
Land.
Sure.
Oh my gosh, 6 golden coins.
Dude, Wario
Yes.
Land.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
okay, that's a tangent. That's a
another.
tangent. That's
Okay,
tangent.
write it down. It's going on the whiteboard.
Put it in the topics parking lot thing we have here in our notes. Throw that somewhere in there. All right. Well, we have a couple of other things to get to here, y'all. Otherwise, we'll be here all night. Let's let's hit this question here from the Muffin Mon. This came from us via Discord as well. We often hear people say they want PlayStation and Xbox to make a Mario Kart / Smash Bros style game, but let's reverse the situation. What genre from the other two companies do you want to see Nintendo do with their IPs? Do y'all have an answer? What do you think about this one? I don't really know. Because, like, for me, when I read this, I'm like, did the other, Nintendo, like, invented genres? And I don't know that PlayStation or Xbox really did that.
Oh, snap.
You know, I'm not trying to, like, throw shade. I'm just saying, like, Mario Kart, Smash, PlayStation didn't really do anything like that. I mean, can you think of anything?
I didn't think of a genre, but I was
Yeah.
thinking of like other games that I wish would be released on Switch or something similar. Like my first thing was I miss playing Viva Pinata on Xbox 360.
Oh, yeah.
I know that's like a life sim and like you're there's kind of some like genetics and stuff and you have to like build up your farm and all that. It's very similar to what like PC and all that too, but I want something similar to that on the Switch. It doesn't have to be Viva Pinata specific, but something similar to that. And there might be something out there that's similar. I'm just unaware. That's the only thing I could think of, but a genre I couldn't think of anything.
Yeah. What do you think, Sean?
I'm really stretching here. It's like MOBA,
Me too.
I guess. Like, is that? I mean, we have a Pokemon one now. But I don't really want a MOBA, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't want like a real time strategy. This is gonna be like process of elimination. It's like no MOBAs, no real time strategy or anything like that. Maybe I mean we already had turn based. We already had like
Yeah.
Mario RPG. I mean, like, yeah.
Is there
like,
a genre even missing? I don't even think there is.
like games as a service?
You know what? I'll give you one. I'll give you one. So PlayStation in particular has got a couple of rhythm games that I really love. So in particular, I'm thinking of Guitaru Man on PlayStation. That is like one of my favorite games of all time.
Well, you got Donkey Konga.
Yeah, we got Donkey Konga, but like, and I do like Donkey Konga actually, but that's like the closest we've ever come to an actual like Nintendo rhythm game.
Yeah.
And like, it'd be kind of, I mean, you know, you also have DDR Mario Mix, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, you know, I would like to see Nintendo take a real crack at it with like a story. Guitar Man's got a great story. Like that game will make you cry, you know? And, yeah, I don't know, man. That's the one that comes to mind. Yeah. There's some chatter going on here in the live chat. FPS, yeah, Metroid Prime is kind of in that vein for sure. And Nintendo also, you know, something that I think this just goes to why we love Nintendo is like they do take their own spins on things.
Yeah.
You know, they're not just gonna make the same FPS that Xbox or PlayStation makes. You know what I mean?
Dude, they had Mario Paint even.
Yeah.
Like, bring back... That's actually what I want. Like, nuts to this question. I need a Mario Paint. I'm calling it now. We have to do our predictions, like, soon enough for 2023. I need to write this down. I want it to be my very first prediction for 2023. We're getting Mario Paint. Paint. It's happening. I feel like there's been, like, hints of, like, the sound effects, like, creeping up every once in a while. It's like you throw on Mario Maker 2 or whatever, and there's little bits there, like the little dog and everything is from Mario Paint. Send me a Nintendo plastic mouse with an even harder plastic mouse pad for some reason, and let me play the fly swatter game. Give me that. Since we're just asking, like, I've basically rewritten this question just like, what do you want?
Just what do you want? What do you want, Sean? What do you want to happen?
Yeah, that's what I want. That. Mario Paint. Yep.
Nintendo's best game, Wii Music. We don't talk about Wii Music, right?
Definitely not.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah, or what? You know what? Here's my legit answer to the question. This wasn't made by Sony or Microsoft or for Xbox or anything, but some sort of walking simulator. Give me like a narrative-driven, just like chill. Let me just walk through something. And actually, you know what? It could be Animal Crossing. And at the end, Tom Nook stabs you in the eyeballs. It gets dark at the end. Like, this is spooky. This is October. Okay, it's bound to happen. We've all seen the picture. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. The creepy like Tom Nook with the bloodshot eyes and the knife. It's very dangerous.
Tom Nook being literally back there while you're saying this too.
Oh, y'all gotta watch the video version of this podcast, man.
Maybe I specifically, I don't know.
Well, y'all will see all the stuffies behind me.
Just trying to paint a
Why
picture.
not?
Yep, give me a walking simulator.
Holy
so
cow.
So like those things that they have on like fancy treadmills, like you're walking through a forest and you can see it, but you want it in a game.
It's not what I meant, but yeah, sure, that too. Yeah.
That's what I was picturing.
Literal walking simulator.
Yeah, I was thinking literally you're walking through something, it takes you on a journey and it's maybe story driven.
No, or anything like, basically like again, this is rewriting the question. You know Fantasia, how it's like not really a movie? Like, do you guys remember watching it for the first time? Like, when is it going to start? Like, what is this? I want that for a game.
Are you?
I couldn't watch the one with the devil part in it. My mom was like, "Okay, we're skipping over this part."
Oh, like the gargoyle,
terrifying.
like the big
the big gargoyle guy. Yeah, she wouldn't let us watch it.
Hearts.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah.
Yep. It was sick. I'm a Kingdom Hearts fan too, y'all. Buckle up.
Or some sort of like, we even have crossover. We got the crossover nobody wanted. Rabbids works out. But like, you got the Kingdom Hearts with Disney cross with like Final Fantasy kind of thing. Like, what would you do? Like Mario, like the Mushroom Kingdom cross with something. Like not Nintendo even, you know? Even Pokemon. That'd be kind of neat. Like, that's the ultimate.
Yeah. That'd be cool. I'm going to take that Mario segue, actually.
Is there such thing as a Pokemon, like, farming sim? Because I feel like that would be kind of cool.
Ooh. That's a good idea.
I'm, like, flipping through, like, all the different, like, Pokemon Direct presentations. Like,
like, a Bulbasaur or something. I don't know.
Oh, totally. Like a Tamagotchi kind of thing? Like, how is that not a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Did I
Y'all
just
can
make
y'all
up
can have
something?
that one. Yeah, y'all. We just invented something. I feel like.
There you go. Free
Well, all
ideas.
right. Let's talk about Mario for a second though, because we had this teaser that came out today
Oh
for
yeah.
the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah.
We gotta talk about this for a second because we're getting a trailer. At the time of this recording, we're a couple days out from the trailer, which will debut. They announced it's gonna be part of a direct.
Why not?
Like they're gonna have. Why not? Sure. We're gonna have a direct. They showed the poster for it. Everybody's talking about Mario's butt, right? That's like the big discourse going on the internet right now. So, what are your thoughts? How are we feeling about the Mario movie?
Baby, don't go back.
Isn't that weird? It is a little weird that that's what everybody kind of latched on.
That's all they gave us. That's all like is front and center. Like there's this cute little
There
butt.
was a Yoshi egg in the background, like
Oh, there's
in
all
that
kinds
little.
of stuff.
There's so much stuff in the background, and like I know, I don't know if I thought of this because of Sean and his distaste of Kirby, but I was like, what if Kirby just makes an appearance?
Oh
like,
my god!
I was thinking of like
Can't escape
Wreck-It.
dude.
I was like thinking of Wreck-It Ralph. You know,
Wreck-It
they have
Ralph,
all those
yeah.
different gaming characters, and like, what if Nintendo brought in some like other gaming characters from like other games they put out, and Kirby's one of those like larger ones that they could easily maybe put them on a shirt or use something like a commercial in the background, and it's like a Kirby commercial, like something like that.
Or like an entire collection of Kirby games just in the trash in the background,
Oh my god, no.
just like burning on fire. Like
Dude,
Mario
there's-
gets his
oh,
fire
man.
flower for the first time, loses control, and murders Kirby and everything about Kirby, like really
That would never happen,
grotesque
Sean.
fashion. Yeah.
I didn't know what I really expected from this poster,
Same.
but like it looks better than I expected.
I
it
know. How is that
Like,
possible? It's like
to. Somehow. I don't know. Like I came into it thinking it was going to be like weirdly stylized or something, and like it just wasn't going to look true to the games.
Yeah.
But Mario's butt notwithstanding, it looks pretty like true to the games, right? Like they did a pretty good, and I love all the little like Easter eggs that we just see even in just that poster. Like my Super Mario Brothers 3 lover, heart just grew 3 sizes when I saw just all this Mario 3 stuff hiding in the background. Made me so happy, like the way the toads look and everything. I'm like, this looks quite good, man. I'm looking forward to seeing the full trailer, hearing what Chris Pratt sounds like.
Oh, I
know.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for it. I'm actually not ready. I am ready for Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. I'm definitely there. I will say this about the poster because I'm trying to wrap my head around why am I so excited about a movie poster. I haven't been excited about a movie poster in a long time, and I'll tell you why I haven't been excited about a movie poster in a long time. They all look the same. They all look like a Star Wars movie poster from 1970 whatever. They're all like main character looking off into the distance and collection of other characters and decreasing size based on importance. Like it's just paint by numbers on this stuff, and it's frustrating. This is a different way to do that, to show you all the things that you're going to get in this movie without being exactly the same as everything else. And I guess maybe what also surprised me is that it still looked like Mario, it still looked like Nintendo, like very much so.
Right.
And I don't know what I was doing in my head beforehand to like warp my expectations so that would surprise me, but this is the way that it should look. And I don't know, the fact that we're even talking about a movie poster, they obviously did something right, as frustrated as I think the collective community has been on how cagey they've been about this movie. It's been very strange, and the delay I think is also weird. What does that mean? And is Sonic going to be the movie that we all remember? So yeah, man, lots to unpack from a single image.
Just a poster.
But Mario just is so deep and rich in like just artistic just flavor. There's so much there. And yeah, I love the internet can kind of pick apart stuff that they see, such as Peach's castle eroding off of a hill. That thing is like a heavy flood away from just like falling off the edge. It's very dangerous.
Breeze.
Just like this perch. Like you got all this flat land. You gonna put the castle up on that thing? Like, man.
I thought it was interesting that it's like very evocative of Super Nintendo World. Like very evocative of that. And I'm like, I sort of feel like, and this is a concern that I've had with Nintendo actually for a while, is I sort of feel like they're trying to like homogenize Mario a little bit, like kind of make it all cohesive. Like the Mario games are going to look like Super Nintendo World. The movie is going to look like Super Nintendo World. The games are going to look like the movie. I wouldn't be shocked if the next Mario game looks like the movie.
Yeah.
You know, genuinely. That wouldn't shock me one bit. And Donkey Kong the same way, who's going to be in this movie and everything. Who knows if we'll see him in the trailer. I think that Mario Odyssey was even maybe a step in that direction. We see this Toad in the poster who he looks like Captain Toad, right? Mm-hmm. And he has patches on his backpack that are from Mario Odyssey Kingdoms. Like he's got Fossil Falls and Tostarena on his backpack. So like they're kind of playing with that a little bit. And I sort of feel like the movie's probably going to start in New Donk City with like Mario and Luigi being actual plumbers and then going to the Mushroom Kingdom, because we know Foreman Spike is in the movie. Something y'all should know about me. I'm a big Mario lore nerd. I grew up like writing Mario fan fiction on the internet. Y'all should just know that about me. And that's just something I did for a long time. Wasted a lot of time on the internet doing that. And so I, as a fan of that stuff, I'm picking this movie apart and kind of like writing a movie in my head. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see it.
Totally wrote the whole screenplay. Yeah. Scripted the whole thing out. That's what I did. Same thing.
Just in my head.
I expect it to be good too, because it's being done by Illumination, who does the Despicable Me and Life of Pets, and like the styling of their characters too. And like I know we talked about Mario's butt several times already, but I did zoom in on his pants, and like you can actually like see the textures of the jean on his pants, which I thought was interesting because normally it's just blue.
Yeah.
You've played the games or whatever, but it's nice to see like some textures in there, so it looks like there will be some of that too, which makes it seem a little bit more realistic, even though it is like it animated.
Weirdly realistic, right? And why are we so? I mean, like, why does his butt look like that? Honestly, like he's got like the chicken butt going on. You know,
there's some because there one of the first screenshots of Odyssey was like Mario with his shirt off, like on the beach or something.
Yes,
and like
they're all talking about his nipples and whatnot. Yeah, like, it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? It was funny though, because it made me think about kind of like the history of Mario's butt, right? So if we think about the history of Mario's butt, what does it look like in the past? And I actually have here, I thought maybe for folks who are watching the video version, maybe we could do a like live look at Mario's butt here. If we could kind of just see, like, he's never really had that much junk in the trunk. You know what I'm saying?
It's just a straight line. That's all.
Right. So this is the Jack's Pacific It's a Me Mario toy that I'm holding up to the camera right now. And
this is why you need to watch the video, people.
You guys need to watch the video. And I'm doing this like as a kind of live comparison. You know, Mario's never really had that much of a butt. Okay, so like maybe we shouldn't be all that mad about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's my
I'm scrounging my room for like my own 3D kind of thing of Mario.
I have nothing.
I've got a lamp like one of these. I don't even know what these things are called. These Pixel Pals lamp. These things are cool.
No, that's a real flat
batteries. But there's no. You're right. There's no butt.
Yeah.
What the heck?
So I think we're making something out of nothing when it comes to Mario's butt. That's all I'm saying.
Baby don't got back. Baby is all back. Yes, Jamie.
Yes. Well, Sean's digging for like through Amiibo and whatnot. Maybe we had another thing in here to talk about some of these Amiibo. Do y'all want to briefly mention these Amiibo, these Kazia and Sephiroth Amiibo?
Sephiroth, give it to me now.
Yeah, dude.
That looks so good. Every time I think I'm done with Amiibo, I get these things. I don't even know where Kazia is from. Like Kazuya. Is it Tekken?
Dude.
Tekken. Okay, I got there just for the. It was very very same time. Obviously, I didn't really play Tekken very much, if at all. But it looks so good. These are. Why do I want Amiibo? Remember when we were like, they need to do something? Remember we were how mad we were that they didn't do like the Skylanders thing or whatever? Like, who cares? They can do nothing, and maybe they'll do a thing in Mario Maker.
Just merch.
Yeah.
Who cares?
$20.
I don't have any Amiibo, but that Sephiroth one, I like him.
Yeah.
The way she said it, I like him.
I like him.
He's got that big katana. Yeah, dude.
It's the hair for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that cool hair. I have a complete Amiibo collection. That's true. Oh yeah, don't get me started on that. Yeah, I'm gonna buy them anyway. I have a complete Amiibo collection. I have to. I'm honor bound at this point to buy them. So.
Oh, man.
Hashtag we want Mario butt. Oh my gosh.
Telling you.
It's like the
something-
filtering that's happening to make sure that this doesn't get into a cancelable offense. We're just
Yes.
It's fine.
we'll leave the
Nintendo
creeper toss
here.
to the waifu games.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, we have this. Let's end with this final question here. And this is kind of a bigger topic. I don't know that we have time to really get into this topic, so maybe we can throw it. We can kind of touch on this and maybe throw it back to the community because I think there's a lot to get into here. This comes from Jamie via the Discord. Says, I, being a frugal person with my money, cannot wrap my head around the fact that people buy digital games for the sake of buying digital games and never play them. I can understand from a physical collection perspective because you have the ability to resell, trade, gift, or pass on physical games. From a digital perspective, it does not make any sense to me. What drives a person to buy games digitally and then never play them? Is it purely to support the developers, a pure game of chasing down the cheapest things to own, or something altogether different? So I don't know, just like top level thoughts. Like what do y'all think about like the digital versus physical thing? And maybe we can pitch this back to the community for like a deeper conversation.
Yeah, I feel attacked. I think this speaks.
Is this a Sean attack? Is that what
I
this
think
was?
so. Well, definitely, because I think Kato and I would eventually go onto the eShop and spend $1 or $2 like needlessly, like, oh, that looks fun, and we would just buy that. And I think part of it, like if I'm being totally honest, especially in those instances, like this is 69 cents. Like a lot of it's just for the lulz, just to get a laugh out of somebody. But there is the other side of it where, yeah, we do buy games because they're on sale. I think is if I'm attaching any sort of like realm of reality to it, it's like, well, I can't afford not to buy this. It's 75% off. Like what am I going to let it go back up to 100% price? I can't do that. I can't let this deal slip through my hands. So I've got to snatch it while I can. And I think that's most of it. I've talked before about when I was in college, I didn't have, a huge amount of money. I had to be very wise about stuff. So I decided that I would set myself back a year. So I wasn't allowing myself to buy a game if it was new. It'd have to be a year old. I kind of make up these weird rules for myself every once in a while. And that was my way of like trying to save money so that if I were to buy a game, it would be $20, not $60, for example. But the problem is I found instead of just buying one $20 game, I bought 3 $20 games. I still spent $60. And so my backlog kind of got out of hand. So that didn't really work for me either. So it's a complete impulse thing. Like it really isn't based in any sort of rational thought, honestly. And if it was, I would not have bought a single thing since Xenoblade. But like that's more game than I need. Like that's really the way I should be thinking of things. I hear my parents talking to me like in my head, just like you don't need to buy another game till you finish the last one, kind of thing. So I don't think that the plan really ever is, although I should be aware of it. The plan is never, I'm going to buy this and never play it because I want to be a silly son of a gun. Like that's not really the thinking. But yeah, I don't know if you guys have anything on that. I should be more frugal. I should be more careful because it can be a waste.
What I like about this question is it reminds us of something that I think is important. An important distinction to make about video games in general is it's a luxury. Like this can be an expensive hobby, and it is a luxury, and I think that's something to be cognizant of, and that's something that I don't think gets said enough. There's a lot of like sort of entitlement that can happen throughout the gaming community or whatever, and there's deeper conversations to be had about this kind of stuff. But like it is a luxury, and so I can respect like a sort of frugal take, but I also can respect like if as long as you're having fun, like I don't care. Like just as long as you're having fun, I think that's the long and short of it. If you can afford to do it, if you're not putting yourself in a financial bind and you're having fun doing it, then go for it, dude. Support, respect, love and respect. That's
I want to be aware of
it's
it though.
Like
I don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable or like make it, I don't know, like I'm just like, I'll just be
Like you're
silly with
making
my
it
money
rain
and
or
everything. Yeah,
something.
totally. And I don't I'm glad that this question came up because that can be a thing, you know. Like let's just buy Amiibo and why do we need these things? Like
Sure.
it really I'm glad you said that because it's all extra, really, all of it.
It is. But to your point though, like another thing too, like to bring up Valfaris again, like you talking about that, I pulled it up on the eShop and it's on sale and it's in like this great, double pack and everything. And I'm like, oh cool. Like I wouldn't have looked at that normally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I think there's an opportunity there too. Like if a game is on sale and you see it, you're like, oh, I'm gonna grab that. Like it's on sale and maybe I'll play it, maybe
Yeah.
I won't, but
I can't even help myself. Look at me. I'm like not even thinking about it. I guess I just automatically go into the eShop right now.
it just forms in your hand.
I am this is how broken I am, you guys.
And to add another layer to that is we're also content creators, specifically gaming. And so
Yeah.
we tend to want
Yep.
to look consistently what hasn't been talked about, what's coming up. Should I buy that because it's new? Should I jump in at the very early start? Or with me early on with my YouTube, I did do like gaming list videos, but it was kind of those indie cheaper games like I would find in the eShop that I would just buy on a whim. I would read like reviews because they were older games, so they weren't new. So I would see reviews on them and then purchase them based on that. Yeah, they would be, $3 or, $5 here and there. Inside was one of the games on my list last year
I'm
too.
buying this right now. Inside is
It's a great
$2.51 Canadian, 90% off. This is a support the developer moment.
Like I would
for me.
find games that were on sale, look them up.
I'm supporting the developer at 90% off. Like, look at me, what a hero! Wow, like I'm just
The developer
they
gets a little taste. They wet their beak a little bit.
putting their
Inside's
kids
a
through
great
college.
game.
Inside is a great game. Limbo is right beside it. Actually, it's also on sale. I think I'll be picking that one up as well. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
All right.
is she
Lachlan's
back?
coming back. I think so.
There she is.
We're running out of internet gas.
We're running
Yes,
out of
it's
internet gas.
a point, and it can't handle it anymore. But yeah, the short of it is I like to get things on sale, but I always tell people, if you like what you see, wish list it, and then maybe hopefully eventually it'll come on sale. It's just one of those
Yeah.
things.
I just got an email about that. Some game is on my wish list. It's on sale. I got to check that. You
Yeah,
guys keep
because you
going.
get an email. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
right.
You get an email about it.
Yes.
It's a vicious cycle. Next thing you know, Sean's just buying more games.
I just got Inside. That's done. So I earned 13 points from this purchase. So thanks for bringing it up, you guys. That's a confirmation screen right there for you. Yeah. Here I am.
love it.
Yeah. I mean, $2, that's a coffee. Like the way I look at it,
Right.
that's, I don't know. Maybe that's not a great way to look at it. I'm just rationalizing it.
But it's different schools of thought, and I think that whatever makes you happy, that's what I care about. As long as
Why
you're
does
happy,
it?
as
But
long as
why
you're
does
having
this
fun.
make me happy? Why? What is wrong with me? Don't
don't
answer
know.
that.
We'll bring it up to our therapist.
Mm-hmm.
Be all right. Oh, Lockliff, rein us in, my friend.
Rein y'all in with the
Yes.
last little bit of wrapping up the
Yes,
show.
please.
Well, I would like
Yes.
to wrap up the show with a physical thing of my own, and I love how we mentioned this earlier, but it is The Legend of Zelda
yeah.
Majora's
Ooh,
Mask on the 2DS, or I guess it's
Best
technically
game
3.
ever. Best
3DS,
game
but I
ever.
just got it on the 2DS, or I'm going to play it on the 2DS, so
Look
that's,
at this.
that's my physical for y'all, and then Sean's going to show his.
Y'all have my heart is so happy right now.
Speaking
Oh
of,
my
well, this
gosh.
is the new Nintendo Drive, and I'm holding, I think this was the first special edition new
it
Nintendo
was.
3DS with the Majora's Mask. This is an XL. This is, speaking of getting nuts and silly with stuff, my collection of 3DSs is probably the most ridiculous of anything I've collected. And like, you see the Amiibo, but like the 3DS is right behind me is my, this could be a whole other conversation. We could save this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
All the tangents, but we might as well just put our plugs in here. Sean, I'll let you go first after you put your things away.
You can find put your toys away, clean up.
Yep.
You can find me in Canada, but also on Twitter at Sean Capri, Sean like Connor, Capri like the pants. I play video games with the community on Saturday nights here at youtube.com/carpoolgaming. And if you enjoyed the show, I would love it if you guys went over to patreon.com/carpoolgaming. Choose a tier that's right for you. There's a gazillion podcasts, even more exclusive stuff for the $3 tier and up. And I just got to say, I've had a blast with you guys tonight, and I'm so excited.
Fun.
I can't wait for it to be next week. I wish it was tomorrow.
Yes.
I want to do it again. Let's do this again.
Me too.
That's it for me. Yeah.
Seth, go ahead.
Sure. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, $2 Hero, all spelled out. $2 Hero. You can find me on there. You can listen to my other, if you want a like super long podcast, you can listen to All In Nintendo Podcast. It's my other podcast, and I have a YouTube channel, All In Podcast, and yeah, it'll be in the show notes.
And I am Locklith. You can find me at Locklith here on YouTube. On Twitter, it's Locklith with TWT at the end, like Twitter. And then I also have Instagram that I'm on at Locklith as well. But thank y'all for hanging out with us today's episode of the new Nintendo Drive.
Yes.
Bump that like button if you haven't already, and fuel this carpool in the comments below by answering, do you like to buy physical or digital games? That's all I've got.
Bye-bye.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all.
D